Welcome back, guys.
Out here at the site again, checking it out. So this is the next day. Everything looks pretty good. I just threw a little bit of grass seed on here. I only seeded this side of the ditch. I technically probably didn't have to do that, but wanted to get everything cleaned up, get everything looking good. So we had built that back up with topsoil again from yesterday, and I think we're hopefully good. Obviously destroyed the beans a little bit there in the field, but and actually the road actually looks a lot better too. So just from driving over it, just from trucks going on it, healed a lot of this stuff back in. It was such a hot day yesterday, and when the tow trucks were lifting, it just wanted to push right down into the asphalt. So that looks a lot better. I don't know how many dollars worth of beans this would be, but it's still kind of a mess, right? So I'd go down, talk to the farmer, see if I can help him out with some Flint Creek merch and some Hammer Down coffee. See if we can hook him up. I'm out here doing a little inspection. Truck 138. It's back here at our yard. You know, I'm just checking it over, doing a little reflection, you could say. Because let me tell you, it's been a rough week. All right, guys, like I was saying, it has been a rough week. We had a lot going on, and it was much more than just this truck flipping over. So we had, earlier in the week, I think it was our anniversary and my wife's birthday. So we were gone last Thursday and Friday, Saturday, and Thursday morning I get a phone call saying that, there was a bad accident in the shop, and, two of our trucks got wrecked. And they said, thankfully, everybody was okay. Nobody was hurt. And that was the most important thing. When I found out about the accident, that's when it really, really hit me hard, because my son was involved. And it was what happened. One of our trucks was up on our column post lifts, and one of the mechanics in the shop was in the truck behind it, and they had released the brakes. They were doing a service on it. They had released the brakes to measure the brakes and to check, measure the brakes, check everything, make sure it's legit. And in the meantime, when they got done with that, he went to start the truck and didn't realize that the truck was in gear, and started the truck, and the truck drove front right into the truck that was up on the lifts that my son was working under. And thankfully he wasn't working under there at the time, but these column lifts obviously collapsed, came down because the other truck ran into them. I'll post a video right here. You guys can see in the next 30 seconds all this taking place. So check it out. So there you can see the guy hopping up into the truck, starting the truck, and it coasted in front. And there's a lot of things. I mean, we looked at that video over and over again, a couple different angles. But, it comes back to, we are always constantly changing and trying to do better, and, looking at how could we prevent this, and that's, at the end of the day, whenever we have an accident, whenever we have an issue, we always look at how can we prevent it? How can we keep it from happening again? How much responsibility is on the driver, or whatever here, the mechanic. We try to look at all these things. We analyze it. How safe has he been in the past? So there's a lot of things that play into it, and it determines whether, we keep a guy around or whether, we let him go. And yeah, maybe just a little backstory on this. My son, I had texted my son that morning, and actually it was the day before I texted him and said, hey, run my vehicle to Crown just up the road to get some work done to it. So he instead takes it to line X, which was the other direction. And so they called me, line X called me on Thursday morning and said, hey, your vehicle's here. I'm not sure why it's here, but did you want something done? And I said, oh, I'm sorry. My son took it to the wrong place. He was supposed to take it to Crown. I said, just, don't worry about it. I'll send him back down and we'll get it taken care of. And this is why I was gone. So I texted my son. I said, hey, the vehicle, you dropped it off at the wrong spot. And I also went back through my messages. I'm like, did I message him wrong or what? And he, here he just, blanked out and he took it to the wrong spot. So when I messaged him Thursday morning, I said, Tyler, I said, hey, can you take the vehicle? Can you go pick it up and take it up to the other spot so they can work on it? And he's like, sure. He's like, sorry about it. So I left it at that. Then, a couple minutes later, he's like, you know what? He was kind of hit a dead spot at the truck. And he was like, you know what? He's just going to go do it now. And he got one of his coworkers to go with him to go swap the vehicle out. He went out to his car. He got out from under the truck, went to his car and, cleaned up, went to his car and was waiting on the guy to ride with him to move the vehicle. And that's when this accident took place. So it totally was of the Lord that he, I could have not messaged out. Like there's so many different things that played into this. And it's truly, I feel like if he would have been working under there, there's no way he would have come out of there alive. I mean, you saw the way that collapsed, came down. I told my wife, I said, when I get home, I'll give him a big hug. It just hit you really hard, he could have been gone. Like, that's scary stuff. But, God had other plans for his life. And, I'm just thankful that he's still here. And we don't know what God has in store for us. So I'm just glad I still have my son. Still glad he can be here. So that's a awesome privilege. And I thank God every day for that. So that was like the first thing that happened. And then also on Friday, my dad went in for surgery, had surgery, back surgery, successful surgery. Everything went well there, but it was still, everything evolving around that. There was just a lot of things happening, a lot of things taking place. And then, I get back and Monday, Tuesday at work, there was a lot going on. It was busy. We found out that one of my coworkers, his wife has cancer. So that's been, challenging working with him and just helping him and figuring out a different work schedule so he can be there for appointments. One of Trevor, actually, you probably know Trevor. He's been here working in the shop. He's our shop manager, awesome guy. He got like a cold or a bacterial infection, and it actually went to his blood, and he was in the hospital for sepsis, and that was tough, So I go into the hospital and during the week, Monday and Tuesday, to visit my dad, and I visit Trevor. I was in there Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. It was seeing him in the hospital. It was just challenging. And then on Wednesday, I get a call and, one of our trucks rolled over. So it was a very, very hard week, and I'm like, God, I don't know what you have in plan for us. Like, this is just crazy. And, it really made me think. And I'm like, maybe I'm just not praying enough. I don't know. I just kind of one of those things where it draws you, maybe you could say draws you a little closer to the Lord, makes you think and just reflect on the week. And, I sit there and I think, we had all this stuff going on. It's been such a hard week. But then, I still have a lot of blessings, and started counting my blessings, and I got to thinking, I'm like, we're so blessed. It could have been much worse. My son could have been killed. This driver of this truck could have been killed. It could have been a brand new truck, or I say a new truck. It could have been one of the brand new trailers and an almost new truck. Like, it could have been so much worse. It could have been other cars involved. He could have had head-on collision with another truck. There's so many other things. And, at the end of the day, I felt a little guilty, maybe complaining or feeling down about all this stuff because, I know that there's people in life that are facing much harder things than I have to face. And, they might be fighting for their lives and they're fighting or whatever else. And they'll be like, Justin, if I could just have those troubles, if I would trade you troubles any day, and that kind of makes you think a little bit because you start looking around and you know what, we're blessed. God allows these things to happen. I'm not sure why, but there's a reason. And sometimes we wonder, what God, why does this happen? Why does this happen to us? But I think a lot of it is to bring honor and glory to God, so that God can be revealed through us and that he can be glorified through us. So that was kind of my challenge, my takeaway. Rough week, but at the end of the day, to God be the glory. God gives and God takes away. I was reading my personal devotions. I was reading in Psalm 4, the last two verses. I will both lay me down in peace and sleep, for thou, Lord, only makest me dwell in safety. This was King David fighting for his life, and he wrote that. And when we can trust in God, we go to God, he can give us that sweet sleep that we need at night and that rest that we need, because it was really working on me. It was, like I said, it was a rough week. It was really working on me, but I just needed, to go to God and to pour out to God. And, I was still able to sleep at night. I was still able to get through it. And also, I got an awesome group of guys. They checked in on me and just, hey, you doing okay? You surviving? You're doing good. That kind of camaraderie, that kind of team is awesome to have. So I got an awesome group of coworkers. We're all in it together. The guys working here in the shop, the mechanics, they pulled together. They have really, they cranked out a lot of trucks this past week and caught up on services. The green truck that got damaged, it's amazing that, on Friday, it happened on Thursday. By Saturday morning, I had a hood sitting here for it. By Tuesday, that hood was painted, and by Tuesday night, that hood was painted and sitting back here. Wednesday and Thursday, we put the grill in it, we put the hood back on the truck, and the truck is ready to go. So that truck will be going back out Monday. To turn that around in a week is amazing. Guys did awesome. The paint shop did awesome. So, we got a lot of blessings, and things are looking up. It's been the last, 2 days have been a bit better. So I just want to encourage you guys, sometimes these things happen and it can really make you think. And the most important thing is that, we don't turn to stuff. We turn to God. And I want to challenge you is go to God when these hard things happen, because it's been a rough week and there's no way I could get through this all by myself. But I appreciate all you followers, guys watching. I'll have more videos. Probably in the next video, we're going to talk a little bit more about this truck and some of the dash cam. I'll show you the dash cam, some of that footage, and we'll talk about what happened. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the support. Keep the comments positive. This is about positivity, working together, right? Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, and we got to figure out a way to work together. And there's so many times during the week that I wanted to react. I wanted to get angry, and I wanted to lash out, and I wanted to yell. And, those things don't help. Those things just don't help, right? You gotta, and I needed, some of the days I'm like, guys, you know what? Give me some time to think about this. Let's go home and sleep about it, and sleep over it, and pray about it, and come back the next morning. I want to react, but I want to react in a good way. I want to get angry, but I want to get angry in a good way so that I, make choices, and get passionate about safety and about making sure that every single one of our guys can go home at night. And, and that's what we did. I got lifts right back in here. I got some jack stands that we were kind of a little low on. There's a couple different things that we got, and are doing wheel chock, some of those things that we went to the shop and we sat down with the guys and we said, we got to change, we got to do something different. And that's kind of how we address this. And we want to react, but react in a good way and in a positive way. And we looked at a lot of different areas. You know, the driver here, what was his record like? I'm gonna get into that in another video. The mechanic, what was his record like? How did the co-workers feel working with him? There's a couple things that went into that too. So, but again, thank you guys. I appreciate the support. Thank you for watching. Hopefully things start to look up, and I'm going to be looking for a truck to replace this. This engine, I'm pretty sure, is still good, and this transmission's good. And I got another truck and another transmission as well that's good. So I would love to find a glider with a bad engine that I can swap out. But I don't know. We'll see. And maybe by the time you're watching this video, I'll have a truck bought. But if I could find a glider that had a bad engine, that would be awesome, because I got the engine. See what's out there, guys. Let me know. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.